Jesper Bratt had himself a record-breaking night, but overall it was another depressing night for head coach Sheldon Keefe, and he had some comments about defenseman Johnathan Kovacevic in the postgame. We'll get to all of that, but man, the Devils just another heartbreaking loss, 3-2 to the Ottawa Senators at home, and it was just another wildly inconsistent performance from this New Jersey team. The third period Devils showed up in the second period tonight in what was just a crazy second period. Everything going on, punches being thrown a little bit, just scuffles after the play, and a lot of goals, really. It was just kind of nuts. Going into the third period, then the Devils have a chance to, get back into it. They get within one with 23 seconds left. And then, man, oh man, we'll show you just how close the Devils came to tying it at the end of regulation, which was just kind of nuts. But I was in the building. I'll share some of that experience with you. But welcome to Devil's Digest. I'm your host, Ryan the Goose Gosiker, here with you as always. And first, I want to let you be one of the first subscribers here on Devil's Digest. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button, and we'll get right into the show. Now, as I mentioned, the Devils just a back-to-back rough home losses. This loss being so bad that the Devils staff handed out Chick-fil-A sandwiches, red-hot Chick-fil-A sandwiches, to you as you left the arena. That's how bad it was. You know the last time I got something free that was edible leaving a Devils game? It was last year on Ring of Honor night when they got destroyed by Dallas, and I got a free bag of fruit snacks courtesy of the New Jersey Devils and Welch's, I'm sure. So the Devils and their new partnership with Chick-fil-A seems to be going well as we got free Chick-fil-A chicken sandwiches. But other than that, it was a putrid night at the Rock. It was sad. It was unfortunate. However, there is a huge bright spot, and we want to give a shout out and a clap to Jesper Bratt as he broke the Devils' franchise record for assists in a single season. And by the way, this was tweeted out by SportsCenter. How many times have the Devils been tweeted about on the SportsCenter official Twitter account in the last 5-10 years? It's been kind of scarce, as some would say. Scarce, tomato, whichever you prefer. But Jesper Bratt is the Devils' all-time single-season franchise record holder for assists at 61 and counting. Obviously, whatever he does the rest of the year will continue to build that record. He broke Scott Stevens' record. So, again, want to give a shout out to Jesper Bratt, who, as we've mentioned several times, a 6th-round pick. Man, you just have to give all the respect in the world to this guy. He's undersized, but we've talked about his hits numbers this year. They're kind of crazy for guys that are scoring at the pace he's scoring at. So kudos to Jesper Bratt. And, of course, it came on a Nico Hischier goal, right? Those guys have been, buddies ever since they came into the league. So it's really important for him to break that record. It's good for him individually. But I guarantee you he's not smiling as well as he is in that photo in the locker room because, again, this team just came out with a deflating performance and one that sent fans still sitting there in the crowd scratching their head as you get later and later into this game. I mean, you could talk about how late it took them to pull Jake Allen in this game, the couple goals that they gave up. Stefan Noesen, we're going to get to him, but Stefan Noesen took the Devils score, right? Bratt breaks the record. Hischier puts an absolute rifle past Ullmark. And the place is going bananas. The Devils are back in it. It's 2-1 Ottawa. The place is buzzing. And what does Stefan Noesen do? He takes a dumb tripping penalty. And immediately Ottawa goes back up 2 goals. That's the little things that as you get later in the season, which there ain't much later to go in the season, right? There's a month, less than a month actually, in the regular season. And then hopefully you get the postseason. And we'll talk about what the implications are and where they're kind of at. But if you're the Devils, you got to figure this out and in a hurry, okay? Because you can't be making these dumb little mistakes over and over and over again. At a certain point, they're not mistakes and they're just flaws in the team. Mistakes eventually become flaws if they're repeated over and over again. So Devils need to learn from their mistakes. Again, kudos to Jesper Bratt, who has just been unbelievable. He had a chance to tie this game, and so did Stefan Noesen. We'll just take a look real quick at his numbers on the year as they just continue to excel. Add 1 to that total. Point total is 81. Assists is 61. So, and he's got 80 hits this year. Just kind of crazy. And Jesper Bratt, another guy who's, by the way, only 26 years old, still continuing to grow as a hockey player here in New Jersey. But look at this clip and look how close the Devils were to tying this game. Stefan Noesen right on the doorstep trying to do anything he can. Stick. And we'll take another look at that real quick. Look at this, just how close the Devils were to tying that game and sending it to an improbable overtime, which would have sent many fans running back up the stairs, including myself. But the Devils have to find a way to get it done. Jesper Bratt, congratulations. But now we got to go to some of the ugly stuff. Okay, I found this right after the game, and apparently Johnathan Kovacevic was talking about the team needing a mentality change. They need to play in a playoff mindset. And Sheldon Keefe was asked about this by a Devils reporter. And Sheldon Keefe, as you can read here, says Kovacevic just needs to play better. That would help. And then ended his press conference and walked off. That's a hefty statement. And Sheldon Keefe has come in here and he's been up and down a little bit. He's been changing lineups. We're going to chat. I didn't like some of the moves tonight. Okay. And he's taken shots at times. Remember a couple weeks ago when he said Shimon Nemec didn't belong in this league with the way he played in the third period against Winnipeg? I do. All right. He's not afraid to call these guys out. And again, I don't think Kovacevic is a guy that's playing poorly. I think has he cooled off from some of that top, 7 or 8 defenseman categories that he was in for most of the year? Yeah, a little bit. You know why? Because that's not actually who he is. Okay, he's more geared towards where he's been playing. I don't think he's playing terrible, but man, just a rough statement coming from your head coach after another brutal loss in your own building, a team in Ottawa that just really took it to them physically in this game. So Johnathan Kovacevic, Sheldon Keefe, I don't know if you guys have to go out, have a drink, maybe go to dinner, head out to Top's Diner there in Newark. Go just, take some stress off. Maybe go to Top Golf down in Edison. Do something fun. Go to the go-kart track. Figure this out, okay? Because we need you guys on the same page, and again, I kind of like coaches that aren't afraid to call out their players, but, again, maybe in some more deserving roles here, and some other guys that probably need to be called out as well. And we're going to get to that. But, and part of that is looking at this tweet. Again, I know it's a little bit hard to read, but if you follow Amanda Stein on Twitter, she tweeted this out today. She always does a great job putting out the lines and everything like that. Nolan Foote was back in the lineup today. Tomas Tatar came out of the lineup. I have no idea why. Kurtis Lazar was back in from the injury. Palat did not return. So his injury might be a little bit more extensive, but he did get out to practice from what I heard. So maybe we'll see him back on the ice soon. Shimon Nemec out, Kowalski in. Okay. Allen in net, as we talked about. Allen, I thought was good and made some miraculous saves tonight. So I think he just continues to prove that right now he's just a little bit better than what Jacob Markstrom's willing to offer you. So when push comes to shove, I think you need to put Jake Allen in the net right now. But I can't explain to you taking Tomas Tatar out of the lineup in favor of keeping in guys like Nate Bastian and Daniel Sprong, who have done nothing. And I watched them the whole game. You can ask anybody who's sitting with me up there in section 132. Nothing. They did nothing. They contribute nothing. Okay? Lazar gets a breakaway. You just kind of know the goalie's going to save it. Okay, it's just one of those scenarios. He's not creative. He's not used to breakaways. It's not his game. The Devils really, when push comes to shove, right? You take Sprong out. Cotter was a nothing tonight. Bastian. Lazar was meh. Okay, Foote didn't really do much at all. You're talking about a Devils team that's playing with 2.5 lines worth of forwards. You can't get away with that at this point in the season and then hopefully going into the postseason. And I say hopefully very emphatically because the way the Devils are playing right now, they need to hit a certain point mark to get into the playoffs, and I'm not sure if they can get there currently, the way they're playing right now. And I don't know what changed in that second period against Calgary in the intermission. They have not looked the same since. Okay, they had a good first period tonight, but other than that, it was just downright dog crap. And I'm putting part of this at the feet of Sheldon Keefe. You can't keep changing these lines all the time. You're taking guys in and out of the lineup as if they're just moving parts. These guys need some continuity and some camaraderie playing together to get it going. And I can't for the life of me understand a guy like Tatar coming out of the lineup in favor of Nolan Foote and in favor of keeping a guy like Nate Bastian in the lineup or Daniel Sprong. And if it has to deal with handiness of the stick, you got to figure it out. There's got to be a better solution than that. That's just unacceptable. Unacceptable. The Devils' lines have been way too up in the air. So if Sheldon Keefe wants to call out Johnathan Kovacevic, I'd like to call out Sheldon Keefe. How about you keep the same lines for 2 games in a row, 3 games in a row? See what works, man. You can't. This flippy-floppy nature is just too much. Now, I found this tweet very interesting. That since February 5th, right when Jonas Siegenthaler got hurt, Luke Hughes has been on the ice for 42 high-danger chances and 77 high-danger chances against. That feels impossible, right? We've talked about the progress of Luke Hughes throughout the year, and it's been remarkable. This is a major step back. And I get it. He's playing more ice time now with Dougie out and Jonas out. He's certainly in more situations, so maybe that's a leading contributor to it. But certainly he has not looked as sharp as he can be as we've seen him look earlier in the year. So I don't know what this team needs to do. I don't know if they have to go to Six Flags Great Adventure, whatever, some amusement park to just go have fun for a day. I've seen it in a couple sports movies. Just go have fun, all right? Just go have some fun. But unfortunately, the Devils don't get that kind of a break. They're playing, I believe, 6 games in 10 days. Okay, they're playing a lot here, so Devils have to kind of figure it out. And the last tweet I have for you is the standings, and this is the last thing we're going to get into. That cushion is not good enough. Rangers won today, so that cushion now sits at 6 points for the New Jersey Devils, with 11 games to go for them, 11 to go for the Rangers. The Islanders won't seem to go away. Okay, Columbus is still fighting in there as well. 2 games at hand, I believe. Detroit with 2 games at hand. The Devils need to figure out whatever is going wrong in that locker room, and they need to figure it out. Close the doors, take the cameras out, talk it out, and figure it out as a team. The Devils need it. New Jersey needs it. The fans need it. The Rock needs it, okay? Bring the excitement back to the Rock. Okay, we're ready. Devils fans, we're ready. We're ready to go. We're ready to, take the roof off of that place. But you got to give us a reason to do so. And the Devils, seemingly the last 2 games, every time they have given us that opportunity, have quickly taken it away from us. And tonight, the highlight being that Stefan Noesen trip right after Nico Hischier scored on the power play. Jesper Bratt breaks the assist record. They're down 2-1. All right, it's anybody's ball game at that point early in the second period. And then all of a sudden, he takes his dumb tripping penalty. Boom, back down 2 goals, and the Devils were chasing ever since. So, guys, it's really been a pleasure here on Devils Digest. It's fun to chat with you all the time. I'm Ryan the Gosiker here with you, just trying to bring you the latest and greatest content here on Devils Digest, having some fun. And it's just, I try to give you as authentic post-game reaction as I can. Some of it I can't say because, we don't want too much explicit content here on the Devils Digest page. I don't like any at all, so that's why I stay away from it all. But certainly as authentic and as raw emotions as I can, because the last 2 nights at Prudential Center, tonight and Thursday night, were just gut punches. And you could feel it walking out of the arena. You could feel the vibe and the energy afterwards. It was tough. So Devils fans, stick together. Let's get this rocking and rolling. Devils back on Monday night. They host Vancouver. Quinn Hughes will be in town. So the rumors about, when is Quinn Hughes going to be a Devil? All that fun stuff will be at the game on Monday, but I will be there as well. So Devils fans, lock in. Let's get down the stretch, 1 game at a time. Here we go. Let's get after it. Get back on track on Monday against Vancouver and find a way to get into the postseason. We'll catch you next time here on Devils Digest. I'm Ryan the Gosiker, your host. Hopefully you enjoyed. Leave us a comment. What do you think? What have you been seeing from this Devils team that concerns you the most? I'll leave you with that thought, and we'll catch you next time on Devils Digest.